All right. So, speaking and not speaking and communication, the two things on my mind actually. This one I'll cover today. The other topic I'll cover next time or maybe in the future. So, communication and the power of communication, and whether speaking is better or keeping silent is better, is the subject of today. But in the future, I want to talk about one of the key pillars of success, which I think you will enjoy listening to, and those of you that actually familiar with the subject will appreciate it. And so this is about being silent or speaking, and the next one will be about consistency. So these are two areas that are really key in my mind, where I assess a person, where I see somebody who I think they're going places, or I think they will struggle. So let's see if we all kind of agree on this or not. Some of you might feel as if the message is directed at you. Believe me, it's not directed at anybody. But if you feel it's directed at you, then you obviously will maybe identify where are the strengths and weaknesses. So let me raise a question just to begin with. How many of you think it's better to speak up, and how many things is better to, as much as possible, to stay silent? Unless obviously you're asked a question, you have to answer the question. But whenever you are in an environment where there is talking, chatting, etc., whether it's social, whether it's business, whether you're sitting with a client, uh, those who think it's better to talk rather than sit silently. Can I see a show of hand? How many? So Giant says that. I can't see everybody, but I see a few. Aitam says yes. Rajiv, okay. And so I've got a few people thinks. Who thinks it's better to um, gravitate to silence, to be silent most of the time? Okay, Sridhar thinks definitely silent, although you seem to enjoy talking quite a bit, Sridhar. All right, so okay. And Muhammad is on the line with us as well. Muhammad, you said to speak. Muhammad Al Bluki. Bluki, this is Bluchi. Muhammad, can you? You're muted. How do you say your second name, Muhammad? Bluki?
محمد البلوكي نعم.
Bluki, okay. So you believe talking is better, huh?
Uh, no, it's better to listen.
To listen, okay, great. We understand now. So why do we speak or actually overspeak? Okay. Number one, obviously, if you want to get what you want, you've got to open your mouth and say something, ask for it. Nobody's going to answer you if you don't speak, right? So that seems natural. Speak up. And if you want to achieve something, you have to chase it. You want to assert yourself, be vocal. Otherwise, you will not get what you want. And we seem to believe, especially in the Arab world, this is more of our style. Loudness gets attention. We want to speak up. I see it often, even in majlises and so on. The outspoken person gets attention. And that, in some ways, nice for the right environment, but not always. So that's often why we overspeak. Social media has taught everybody to be noisy, to talk, to express themselves, take their picture, say something. Okay, so that's on the overspeaking. Let's see the why of silence. Obviously, I'm playing with both. I will eventually maybe come out favoring one or the other, but that's not the point. The point is each has its features. So, why of silence? Why do you think silence is a good idea? I will keep asking you, so help me keep it a two-way discussion. Don't let me just talk, talk, talk. Otherwise, I'll be guilty of overspeaking.
Speaking often, many a times comes out of reaction. So we need to speak, but we should speak from as a response. we should operate from silence than operating from noise.
Okay. Somebody else want to say something?
Yeah, I think if you don't have full understanding of the topic, then silence will be a good idea until you have, you know what to speak and what to give.
Fair enough. Yeah. So let's see some features of being silent. You only learn by observing. You don't learn by talking. When you talk, you just hear yourself talk. And when you hear yourself talk, actually it's your thoughts. You already had those. You're not learning anything new. You're just saying them out loud. And at the end of even half an hour of talking, you're not any wiser. So you cannot observe and enhance your knowledge by talking. That's not the way it is done. I've never seen anybody gets insights by talking. If you sit in company in a group of people and quietly observe, you get insight either about the other person, about the subject matter of discussion, etc. And noticing intentions and patterns. The best chess players or poker players don't spend their time talking because they are observing the behavior, the body language, the intention of others. That's how you get the grandmasters of chess. That's how international poker players, they are usually as quiet as it gets. While those who think they've been smart by talking miss the whole show. And they actually leave any meeting thinking they've done a great job. They don't realize they missed the whole show, the whole boat by just listening to themselves talk. Silence is what is called a forces multiplier. Let me explain that some things can be a force. So you put in one, you get one, maybe you get two, but to get multiple, it's very few things in life produce a huge results. And silence is one of those, surprisingly. So let's see how. Why does silence enhance decision? Anybody?
It gives you more thinking, while being silent and listening more.
Yeah, precisely. If you're silent, means you did not jump to decide and to respond. You paused a bit, you absorbed what's been said, and then you will act, or you might not act. Actually, some of the smartest people I have dealt with, and by the way, I should confess to you, it's not my nature to say, I'll come back to you or let me sleep on it. Usually, and sometimes that can work against you. If you have a reasonably agile mind, you want to respond in the moment, finish it off. But sometimes the best thing is let me come back to you. And that doesn't work for somebody who wants to talk too much. So silence enhances the kind of decision you take. What about this one? Create space for others. I want to keep pushing you until it is really your presentation, not mine. What do we mean by create space for others?
Allow others to express about what they have in their minds.
Okay. So create space for others. You see, if you want to learn and if you want to other feel also appreciated, you need to be silent. Then you open space for them to talk, and only by them talking, you're going to learn something new. You know, we say when you go, frankly, often when I go to, say, a reception or a meeting, etc., I always think the only time you learn in life is when you interact with another human being. Yes, you can read book and you read essays, etc., but it's very, very powerful when you interact with another human being. But if you interact and you go and bombard them with talk, you will only hear yourself. Okay? So remember that. Give them space to speak. You'll be surprised how much every person has to tell you. Have you noticed people who don't say much in meeting, when they speak, the impact is quite powerful? If they've been talking for the last half hour, you think, oh God, here they go again. But if they've said very few words, the moment they open their mouth, everybody listens. That's really important. I'm going to keep, if you like, plugging this until you begin to think like communicating. You know, when communicating on WhatsApp, you can say a great deal with one sentence, or you might send one voice message that if you pick up the phone to talk and you talk, you could talk half an hour. So if you want to create impact, keep it succinct, keep it small, and then when you speak, people stand up and listen. And naturally, if you're doing all of this, your growth as a person is going to accelerate. So let's see action versus words. Okay. If you're action oriented, what happens? You don't have to say much. Results speak for themselves. In fact, you might even feel a slightly awkward to talk about them, because then the results are there for anybody to see. Your character will shine too. Why? Because you didn't say much. Your results are hopefully positive. Your personality comes across to anybody who's watching, and your wisdom comes through as well. The person who's talking, none of these things come out. Let's talk about silence and patience. Okay. We think that when we talk, when we push, when we assert, we want results. The opposite is true. It's the patience and the silence that allows the natural unfolding of things in life. Nothing happens that quickly. It takes time. Those who think they can bang the table and push and shove, they may feel they pushed it a little bit, but in human relationships, that doesn't work very well. You have to have some patience to allow processes to come out naturally. Everything takes time. Other people have their own agenda. You have your own agenda. So trust the process. Trust that I don't have to be anxious. I can stay silent and see results happen. But doesn't mean to say you don't prepare. Think, oh, okay, I trust the process. I'll just go to sleep and tomorrow things will be fine. No, you prepare all the time, but give the process a time to evolve naturally. And when you don't force it, you'll be surprised people somehow come back to you. And I've seen this with people. Let's say you're looking for a job. If you go banging and sending CV to 100 people, and when you meet them, you do this and do that and tell them this, tell them that. Otherwise, a person who's silent, they will submit CVs, they enhance it, but what they do, they invest in themselves. They maybe create a website. They maybe have even write articles. I know somebody who learned to program in Python or R or something else, and then people notice, oh, this guy knows this, or they're really good at that, etc. Suddenly, they actually get noticed and they get the offer without them pushing. The more you push, the less likely you are to get results. This is an important one. Let me ask you. There are 4 opportunities to come your way. Do you have to chase it or align with it? Maybe I need to explain it a bit more. An opportunity comes up, and you either, I've just given an example of a person who wants a job. Let's say in the company, you would like to move from a task you're doing to a better position, a better task. You can keep on nagging your superior to give you the job. That's chasing. Okay. Or you work out what exactly this job needs. It needs those skills, it needs this involvement, it needs maybe integrity, maybe it needs whatever it needs. Then you go working on those things. If it needs programming, you develop it. If it needs communication, you develop it. If it needs marketing, suddenly think, oh, wait, why are we just keeping so and so in that department? I can use them here because look what they can do. So they've seen an opportunity aligned with what is needed for that opportunity rather than push. Trust me, pushing and shoving doesn't work. People actually get tired of that. Now, I should differentiate two types of silence. There's strategic silence and there is passive silence. So strategic silence is a deliberate choice. There is noise around me, people talking, an argument, etc., and I'm keeping quiet. That's different from passive silence. It comes out from fear. So I'm not advocating that you keep silent if you're that kind of person who doesn't want to open their mouth. They're afraid people will judge them. They're afraid they'll make a fool of themselves. They're afraid of whatever in their life didn't work out for them. That is something you want to train out of your system. I have seen some of us where just don't want to say anything because they don't want criticism. They don't want to say the wrong word. That is passive silence. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the strategic silence where you actually have 10 answers, you could say, but you strategically decide, I'll stay quiet, let me hear everybody, let me learn something here. Big difference. Don't think I am giving you justification to never open your mouth. I have seen some of you where even a question is asked and nobody wants to answer because they don't want to make a fool of themselves or whatever their fear is. That's not what we're talking about. For me, this is the most important one. I'm talking about me personally. I have found when I go to a gathering or a reception or a party, I get drained. By end of maybe 1 hour, some people can last longer, I am feeling tired. I've had enough. Why? Because you're forced in a social, especially environment, to interact, small talk, talk with other people. And yet, as soon as I leave the party, I go home, within very short time, the energy regenerates. Your drained battery start to fill up. A bit like maybe driving home fills my battery. But so silence in itself regenerate energy. Try it. After any noisy environment, a lot of talking, sit silently, take a few breaths for maybe 10, 20 minutes. Your energy comes right back up. And chatter drains it. Don't let your energy waste away because you're happy to hear your own voice. So let me conclude. We're coming to our half past the hour. So we're all living in a very noisy world, and we start to associate success with noise because we hear everybody around us talking, all the social media. Don't let that fool you. That is a misconclusion. Only silent people, strategically silent, actually signal confidence. You may not admit it, but you look around and say, he's not said anything. I don't know what they know. Why aren't they speaking? What do they have? And when they speak, everybody goes quiet and they hear them. So if you want to signal confidence, don't do it with chattering. That doesn't achieve anything. You even create mystery. Like I said, what is he quiet about? He must know something. And it forces people to listen, even if we speak with a low tone. They all strain. What's he saying? Don't feel you have to shout. Sometimes quiet forces it. But obviously, not everybody behaves that way. Some people are too busy talking. And speak less, observe more. So if you add up all of this, hopefully by the end of this, you will let action speak, not words speak for you. Okay? Some of you are really good at this. And let me tell you, obviously I'm all observing everybody. I used to be surprised until I, if you like, articulate everything in words like this. How come some people who appear to never say a word, how come they achieve the success they have? And we have them with us on the call. And I think, well, how does he sell? He doesn't say anything. Then they go, and they're the ones who deliver the best numbers. And those who talk too much struggle to get their numbers. You must have seen this, especially if you're a sales manager. You have a lot of people, and you have some people with you and think, I don't think this guy can do it. And then, though they just say nothing, they deliver stellar numbers. That is the power of silence here. And I want to finish on this. This is very unusual. Try and remember it if you can. Don't explain and don't complain. Because those are part of chattering. But anybody who want to take a stab at this, what is this about? Don't explain, don't complain. And let it be, don't do a strategic silence on me now. Let's talk. So, Heb, you look like you want to say something, or was that just you reach to the mic and change your mind?
No, it's a reminder was coming, so I muted that. But yeah, for explaining, basically, it's would be like justifying everything. Many people have, they have to explain everything, kind of a justification, and also complaining about something that they themselves can rectify.
Correct. Look, if you're always explaining, it means you need the approval of others, doesn't it? Why are you explaining to me? If you're sure about what you're doing, good luck to you, keep it up. And I will respect you more for it. So don't do it. Even though nature has us explaining. Explain this. You're maybe something happened in the office or with a client, etc. What if you don't say anything? I used to think, even when I went to give a speech or something, and say, well, I don't know, there is a noise or a bit delayed, etc. You think explaining helps. Obviously, if you're unduly delayed, fine. Or you might say, excuse me, but today I've had a tough day. I hope what's this explaining? It is just lowering your standing. Don't explain. And the next one is even much, much more, if you like, bad for you. Don't complain. Why not? What if I have reason to complain? Why don't complain? Come on, guys.
When we talk, guys, when you actually, it's mixed. When you talk about business, complaining has no place actually, because we have to make things happen no matter what. Either we do it or we don't do it. But if it goes for different things than business, we complain because we need to explain more to others to understand what's happening. So here, I don't mix it between business and other social life. This is what I mean.
Okay, thanks, Ghassan. Let me say, what if I complain to you that nobody, let's say the floor is dirty, even house or in business. What exactly are you saying when you complain? You're saying, am I cause or effect? Am I able to act and make things happen? Or do I just complain hoping somebody else will act? See, whether it is in business, whether it is at the home, why are you expressing your weakness to act to make things happen? And I've seen it, often you have a group. Here we have in our community where I live, a group, WhatsApp group. And the amount of complaining I see on the group, which is 90% of whatever is listed, as soon as you see it, you know somebody saying, I can't do anything about it, I'm just going to complain. Maybe somebody else will act. Those who can do, don't complain, they just do. Don't make yourself the effect of things be the cause of things. People who complain are at effect. People who keep on explaining are saying, I feel weak and I need to explain even why I'm breathing. Don't waste your time doing either of those. If you don't like something, fix it, act. If you feel something needs explaining, explain it to yourself. You don't need to explain it to others. It's not an easy one to adopt, but strong people do adopt those naturally. Hopefully that's you. Thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day and assess and leave a comment if you can, please. Thank you.